There are different types of sewing machine needles on the market based on the technique and fabric that you're using. And within those types are different sizes based on the thread weight you're using. Some needles are also color-coded to make it easy to identify the needle when it's out of the packaging. The universal needle is the most deceiving. It's not actually universal. It's not suited for a lightweight knit or a heavyweight denim, and it's not particularly suited for machine embroidery. Although a universal needle can be used for certain machine embroidery projects, specialty embroidery needles have a longer eye and scarf, and that supports the specialty threads that you're using for machine embroidery. They also have a light ballpoint that allows for multi-directional stitching without snagging the fabric. However, an embroidery needle isn't always the best choice for machine embroidery either. So how do we decide which needle to use when? The heavier the fabric, the larger the needle tip needs to be to penetrate the fabric fibers. Similarly, the lighter weight the fabric, the smaller the needle tip needs to be to avoid producing a hole in the fabric. At the same time, the needle eye needs to be large enough to accommodate the thickness of the thread that you're using. In general, for machine embroidery using a stable quilting cotton and 40 weight rayon thread, which is the thread that most digitizers intend for their designs, a size 80-12 embroidery or top stitch needle is suitable. If you're using a heavier weight fabric like a denim or a canvas, then a 90-14 needle is a better choice. If you're using a lighter weight fabric like a chiffon or a cotton voile, then a 75-11 embroidery needle or a 70-10 microtex is a better choice. 40 weight rayon isn't the only thread for machine embroidery. There are other great thread types that have different qualities that result in really beautiful embroideries too. 40 weight poly deco is a strong thread choice available in lots of colors. This thread weight is interchangeable with 40 weight rayon, so the same needle you'd use with rayon is suitable for poly deco. Thicker threads provide great coverage for machine embroidery designs, particularly line art style designs like red work or quilting motifs. The lower the thread weight, the thicker it is. So if you're using a 30 weight cotton thread, for example, you'll need a larger needle. A 90-14 embroidery needle is customary depending on your fabric thickness. There are also designs digitized for even thicker threads. Designs labeled as brushed, fur, or heavy are digitized for 12 weight threads, such as 12 weight cotton or 12 weight acrylic thread like this filaine. In order for the thread to pass through the needle eye and withstand the high speed of machine embroidery, you need a size 116 needle. A jeans, titanium, or top stitch needle provides the adequate space and tip that's needed for multi-directional stitching while penetrating through all these heavy stitch areas. Another reason to not use a needle labeled embroidery for machine embroidery is when you're working with metallic threads. Original metallic, poly star, sliver, and hollow shimmer threads all need a size 90-14 needle, either labeled metal or top stitch. These needles have a slightly narrower scarf than an embroidery needle, and they just react better with the friction and the speed of machine embroidery. That being said, you still need to slow the machine speed by about half when you're embroidering with metallic threads to reduce that friction even more and eliminate thread breakage. If you experience thread breakage during embroidery, the needle size is almost always to blame. Switch the needle size or type or both until a balanced and strong stitch is achieved. Note which needle type and size that you use for your projects in a reference file to consult before your next project. This research will help you in future stitch outs so you can get to the fun of embroidery much quicker.